Good afternoon. Welcome to the Inside Job Podcast, Healed Inside Out. We have welcoming back Fresh.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
I know it seems like you were just here, but it actually has been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's
we
definitely been
we
a
talked
while.
a lot about the prison stuff, how that looked and what that looked like. We got some inquiring minds that just want to know about Fresh. So
Really?
let's
They want to know about me.
they want to know about you. Like
Okay.
who are you? Like, we touched a little bit on where you came from, like how
Yes.
it was as a child.
Yes.
Briefly, we talked about that, but I think that there was a sense of people got that there was an intellect that they wanted to hear some more about. So maybe like about mental health from your perspective as a black male coming out of the prison system, not necessarily talking about the prison system, but what did that do for you mentally, emotionally, and all of those type of things. I just want to get to know you. So let's talk about you.
Okay, let's talk about me.
Let's talk about Fresh. But I'm sorry.
Listen, you got to start dancing.
I know. I can't help it. Look,
Yeah.
anybody who knows me, like I said, it could be a commercial on
Yeah.
TV, and I'm always
And
just
get in your spirit.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay.
just dancing. Anyway, okay.
So, Fresh, mental health, transitioning. I would say my mental health is beautiful, considering.
Okay.
And the reason why I say beautiful is because, and I want to get away from, the prison thing, and I want to really bring it back here because,
Yes.
this is reality.
Yes.
Right? This is the real world. This is where things really count.
Yes.
But perspective, which is very important. Mentally, like I was able to identify from the outset that I needed to really maintain my sanity because I could literally see people in front of me going crazy. Like, and it happened repeatedly on a consistent basis. And it was a fear of mine because I knew from the outset, like, damn, if I have to do all this time, right? I still want to get out and have children because I don't have children. I still want to get out, and love and live life and enjoy myself. And it starts here.
Ooh.
Like you have to keep your mental faculties intact, like throughout the journey. Like because I read a book, right? I always forget the author's first name, right? But his last name was Hallinan, Halinan, and he wrote a book called Going Up the River. And Going Up the River, it spoke about prison amongst a lot of things. But it spoke about the historical context of prison, like what prison is, the American prison industrial complex is today, like where it came from, the underlying principles. But then it went in depth and it talked about the prisoner. And it said that, okay, it's one thing to say that you survived prison.
Yeah.
Because anybody can say that.
Right.
You can get out and you
Right.
can say, oh, I survived because you made it out. But when he put it in the context of saying that you have to survive mentally, physically, spiritually. If any of those things do not survive, then you didn't survive prison.
Ooh.
Right? So you have to keep your spirit right. And like I said, you don't have to read the Bible 1,000 times, read
Right.
the Quran, and bump your head 5 times a day. But if you have a spiritual connection, right and wrong, good and bad, just the dichotomy of the universe, and you have that perspective, okay, cool, and you develop that. And then your spirit, I said spirit, but mentally, like you enrich yourself. You read, you study, you make a conscious effort to put things into your brain that are positive versus honing your criminal skills. Then you can survive mentally. And then physically, of course, you got to survive.
Right.
You can't let anybody take advantage of you. You can't, walk around in defeat. You can't walk around with your head down. And I got into warrior mode. And, you know, I have my family is from Nigeria. My dad is from Nigeria.
Right.
So he's an immigrant, you know, became an American citizen a few decades ago. So my familial history and my background is deep. And I guess maybe my sense of pride, you know, my grandfather named me Jangademo. And Jangademo in Yoruba means warrior.
Oh.
Right. And my father always told me, remember the son of who you are. Right. So when I'm walking through them trenches, I'm making sure that I walk through there as a man, like nothing less. Like I'm not compromising my manhood, my integrity, my dignity, none of that. I never compromised, not one time. And those are the things that played in my mind. Like I gotta make it out of this place. But then not only that, I had help. Like I had help because I came in there, I was a youngster.
Okay.
Right? But I guess some of the older people saw me and they saw potential. So that there were older people in the atmosphere that were able to steer me like, nah, you know what, you're making a mistake. And I learned.
Ooh.
And then on the outside, my family, they reaching in there, they coming to see me. Like I told you, they sending me money. If I asked for a book, if there was a book I wanted to read, I was able to read that book if the prison didn't have it in the library. So those are the things that kept me going and made me a better person. And it helped me strive and get through. And I'm talking about I traveled a long road, but I learned a lot and I became a better person. And then psychologically, I guess maybe because I had a basic understanding of psychology because I went to college before I went to prison.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, I studied, you know, psychology 101 and I studied developmental psychology. So I was able to understand the brain and how it functions.
Okay.
And I was able to self-diagnose. Like I told you when I said when I wrote The Prison's Therapist, I was really a therapist in there. And that wasn't just, I wasn't capping. I was really like, I was really a therapist.
Yeah.
So I was fortunate to say the least.
I would say that.
I was fortunate, you know, and I was blessed. I feel like God put his hand on my life, right?
Yes.
And walked me through that. Whether I was in prison rising, where I was in hand-to-hand combat, like God put his hand on my life and walked me through that journey and brought me out a better person. And at least I had the wherewithal to do things to make me better. So I was a workout fanatic.
Okay.
If you follow me on Instagram, if you see me on Facebook, my work speaks for itself. Like a workout fanatic. Like that was my baseline. If my day didn't involve a workout, my day wasn't complete. So I worked out every day.
Okay.
I didn't take days off. So that helped me maintain my sanity. If I felt myself falling into depression and I was tired of working out, I would go pick up a basketball.
Okay.
If basketball didn't work, I'll go read a book. If a book didn't work, I'll write a book. If that didn't work, I'll write some lyrics. Like I stayed busy, right? And another proverb that we use is an idle mind is a playground for the devil.
Yes, say that.
So I refused to be idle. And then that just carried over into me being here with you. You know, people that have been here for years, you know, upstanding citizens, you know, doing the right thing. And I've been able to blend and I've been able to mesh with society with like no drawback.
Wow.
No insecurities.
Oh, that's good.
Like, I'm able to handle myself with poise, like I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah.
And that's what I told myself when I was there. I wasn't supposed to be there.
Ooh,
right?
That's good.
And I told myself that numerous times, like I'm not supposed to be here. So the goal is to make it there, outside of that place. And then once I made it there and made it to here, I mean, you see, the work speaks for itself.
Yeah, absolutely. So I heard you say, you know, if you felt like the depression might be coming up, so it came.
Definitely.
Right? Yeah. So it came, I mean, because, you know, locked up, you're locked up.
It's hard.
So it came.
Yes.
Okay, so good. I wanted to put an emphasis on that because I think it's important for people to understand that you're not exempt from it just because you had the bandwidth, the capacity to fight it off or to do whatever to keep yourself busy. You still had to fight that
Definitely
battle.
had to fight. Yes. Definitely had to fight. And it was just all in the name of, you know, maintaining that mental health. Because like I said, if you let any part of your spirit or your personal structure die,
This is so good.
then you die, right? And now it was like because it's a multifaceted battlefield, right? Because you fighting the system,
Right.
You fighting crazy people in there that don't want to see you go home. You fighting a penological system designed to keep you confined, right? And then you're fighting time because time is not waiting on you. Time is waiting on no one. Time is perpetuating itself. It's constantly moving forward. And as time is advancing, life is slowly leaving you. And you realizing like, damn, I'm getting older in this place. I'm not financially sound. I don't have children. I don't have a wife. I don't have the things that a man of my age should have. So then you start like looking at yourself critically, like, damn, like I really like, I made a mistake, and this is a terrible mistake. Please, God, give me a chance. So that became my prayer. That became my mantra. Like, just give me my chance. Just let me get back to it. And I promise you I'm going to do the right thing. And lo and behold, you know, I mean, I'm marching.
Yeah.
You know, I'm marching.
Yeah.
The soldier in this war, I'm marching, I'm pushing through. And like I said, God had his hand on my life because I haven't, the challenges that many people fear coming back into society, like, I didn't experience it. Like,
wow,
I didn't have fear of applying for a job. I didn't have fear, like, of none, like, it was just no fear. Like, I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be here doing the right thing, being productive, moving forward.
Yes.
So it's a breeze. It's easy.
It's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I would bet that people would say that, you know, you probably just was one of the lucky ones because you hear a lot of people that have come out and they talk about how it's a cycle of, you know, get out, can't get no job, can't do this, can't do that, so then they end up reoffending and going back in. So you would be looked at as, you know, one off, like this ain't everybody, this ain't for everybody. Like, he just got lucky. He had some, what would you say about what you got that somebody else don't have who's out here struggling with that same thing?
I would say number one is situational, right? Because it's some people that get out, they don't go to the halfway house, right? They don't have family that support them. They get out with the clothes on their back, and if they had any money on their commissary account, that's what they get out with. And when they get back into society, they have to start from that point. And if the opportunities are not offered immediately, then they immediately jump back into that box. Guns, drugs, robbery, whatever else comes with that. So I'm fortunate that I didn't have that type of situation, you know.
Okay.
So for those people, I say that, you know, when it comes to you like that, you may not have a choice. But if you truly have a desire, like I told myself, right, this is like when I broke myself down to my lowest point.
Okay.
Right, and I looked around that small cell, and I looked around, and I saw this other man in there living and breathing with me. And I said, if I can do this right next to this toilet, then I can sleep under a bridge out there and take my time.
Okay.
And I would rather sleep under a bridge out there than sleep in this cell with this man. Because I promise you, I had more opportunity sleeping under that bridge than sleeping in this cell with this man.
Absolutely.
So that's me personally. It's a matter of what level you willing to travel in order to come up. Some people say, hey, look, I'm not going that low. I'm not doing that. If it get to that point, it's on. Cool. But me, after going through what I've gone through, like I've been to war, like real war with the government, with people, with myself. And I know what the consequences of that war are. And I know that it's on me to avoid making those repetitive mistakes over and over again. So me personally, I sleep under a bridge. Now I know some people, I said that too, because we have these same conversations within those walls. And I've said that to people, and they said, ain't no way. And that's just them telling, like, my desire has not changed how your desire has changed. Like, your desire has broken down to the point, like, you like, yeah, they know, like, if prison had a high school yearbook, they probably would have circled my face and said most likely to succeed.
To get out.
I mean,
hey, man, come on.
Yeah, that's just being honest. Like, like people will see me, they'll see me like, man, he always working out. He always got a book. Man, ain't no way you coming back. And I'm like, you right. Ain't no way.
Yeah. I like that because for me, what I see is like why we're sitting here in this room in this podcast called The Inside Job.
Definitely.
Because it's an inside job.
It is.
You got to do the work, and you got to do the work within you, because nobody's going to do it for you. When you get out, or even if you don't go to prison or whatever, no one's going to do anything for you.
Nah.
You do have to do it yourself.
You have to remodel your interior.
Better pin that, Vic.
Yeah,
That's
you
good.
have to
Remodel your interior.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, you got to rearrange some things to make a better you. No matter where you at in life, you don't have to go through prison to identify the need to rearrange and redecorate.
Yeah.
You can just identify, like, you can see flaws. Anybody that's honest can see flaws in their life, whether it's relationship, whether it's with work, whether it's personal goal attainment. You can identify where you're going wrong at. And if you can identify where you're going wrong at, then you logically probably know the solution. And it's on you to implement that. Like, it's not on anybody else to implement those changes in your life. It's on you to say, okay, cigarettes are bad. I can barely breathe walking up the stairs. I need to stop smoking. Because I don't need to smoke. I want to smoke.
Yeah.
But I don't need to smoke. Smoke does more harm than good. Or, I'm getting fat. I don't like the way my body looks. I don't like the way I feel. I need to go to the gym. And eventually, some people, they do go.
Yeah.
And they find that they like what they're doing when they go to the gym.
Yeah.
And they continue to go to the gym. And then you look up 5, 6, 7, 8 months down the road, they see changes.
Yes.
Then it becomes a habit. Then they become addicted to it. And that's a positive way. Just like being in the streets. Oh, you see money coming from this source right here.
Yeah.
You invest more into it. You see more coming back. Okay, you hooked to that.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, it's multifaceted. But it's on you to identify right, wrong, and what works for you. And walk in that path.
Okay. I got the opportunity to see, I think we spoke a little bit last time. You started your own podcast.
I did.
And I got the opportunity to see that. So congratulations
Okay,
on that.
thank you.
Looks
you very
good.
much.
Looks good. Sounds
Thank
good. You out here doing you. And I know
Thank
you
you.
said you're gonna take your time and doing it. So, and you got a little bambino coming on the way, right?
Yes, I do.
So now we're 2 months later. But anyway, we'll talk about that. But I want to talk about a little bit about the direction, even though you're slowing.
Yes.
The direction. Give me what that looks like.
The direction is up.
Okay, or it's simple.
I mean, the direction is up. Even if it's, you don't have to leap high to get high.
Okay.
But as long as you're taking those gradual steps in the direction that you want to go, which is up, eventually you'll reach that place. Another adage I'm gonna use is patience is a virtue.
Facts.
So I know that, like, this trajectory that I'm on, this path that I'm on, like, it's abundant. Everything is increasing. And I realized, like, this is the first time in my life where I really just started doing the right thing. And not doing the right. See, it's one thing to do the right thing when people can see, and you make it look good, and it look, it's like, oh yeah, he's doing the right thing. But then it's like when it's really your life, when you really living like that, like, man, I'm really doing the right thing.
Yes.
And everything is falling into place. If I complain, it'll be a sin. So I cannot complain about anything. Even if I don't like, I just got to keep pushing because it's so much good that's going on. I just got to keep walking in that path. I just got to keep doing the right thing. My dad tell me, son, just keep working. All right, Dad, I'm going to keep working. And that's what I do. For the first time, I really know the people around me, even homies from my neighborhood, like, bro, I'm proud of you. Salute.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I just got to keep doing what I'm doing. If it's fast or if it's slower, just keep doing it.
Just keep doing it. Tell it from the start of your day to the end of your day. What does that look like for you?
Okay, so this week, for the next few weeks, I wake up at 4:45.
Okay.
I work out.
How long do you work out?
pretty quick. I'm on 2-a-days now, matter of fact. So, so this is what I'm on. Like, I wake up at 4:45. I get something in. On my lunch break at work, I go to the locker room and get something else in.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just, it's programming. It's hardwiring. Like, once you really start subscribing to these teachings and these philosophies that I have, you really understand what I'm talking about. Like, no matter what, I'm going to get it.
Okay.
So even though I'm going to work, even though I got all these other activities going on in my life, I still find time for me. And it starts early in the day, 4:45, and then lunch break. Get a few push-ups in, a few squats just to make myself feel good. But it's work. Like I say, I hit that clock at 6:30. I work until about 3. And then after 3, whatever activity I have scheduled, that's what I get to. Today is here with the inside job. Tomorrow it might be the studio. The day after that, I might go to the gym instead of working out at home. But I'm in perpetual motion. Like it's not stopping. Like everything I'm doing, I'm just moving. I'm transitioning. It's one thing to the next. It's not stopping. And I'm comfortable. Like, I was busy. Like my mom used to tell me when I was young and I was growing up, like, you always into something. And I was just always into something. I used to get a whooping every day.
Okay.
I'd be scratching my head like, damn, why am I always in trouble?
Yeah.
Like I can't, and I couldn't figure it out, for the
Yeah.
life. And I'm like, man, why the hell am I always in trouble? I'd be looking like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, what I do now? Because I couldn't figure it out. But I was just always into something. So now as an adult, now I know how to channel that energy. Like, okay, I'm into this over here. This is positive. Okay, I'm going to go over here and do something else positive. And I'm always into something. But now it's in a different realm. And the possibilities are different now. It's not too many negative consequences with the things that I'm doing now as opposed to what I was doing when I was a child or a young man.
So, I mean, and again, because people, have kind of asked the depth of you from a spiritual space. Do you incorporate your prayer, do you meditation, or what is it that you do from a spiritual space?
Oh, I pray every day.
Okay.
And I pray to God. So for the record, I'm not a fan or big on Orthodox religion. So whether it's Christianity, whether it's Islam, like I wouldn't say I don't believe in any of it because that's true. Jesus was a real man. Prophet Muhammad, those are real people. Those are real stories. I believe those stories are true.
Okay.
But as far as subscribing to those religious beliefs,
Yeah.
what I've come to realize is that there's a duality in the universe. That duality will never change. Right? And you could just go down the line. There's man and woman.
Right.
There's good and bad. There's night and day. There's right and wrong. We create the gray area in our mind, but the gray area really doesn't exist. That's number one. That's a man-made medium. Just like religion. Religion is a man-made medium to get to a higher power.
Okay.
But if you truly and wholly believe in a higher power and believe that there's something greater than you to explain all of this, you've already won half the battle. Then it's on you to walk in that way, knowing that, okay, there's something greater than me. There's something bigger than me. And being able to submit with your heart.
Right.
Not having to, and like I say, my grandma, I was baptized in a Christian church. I was baptized at Macedonian Baptist Church off of Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Yeah.
That was my grandma's church.
Okay.
She took me there to see Rosa Parks. But as I grew into my own, and I studied, and I learned, and I saw, really the destruction that religion has wreaked on a lot of civilizations.
Yeah.
It just really turned me away from it. I'm like, okay, well, I believe in God.
Yeah.
But do I have to believe in this religion to believe in God? Because God is first, not the religion.
Yeah.
And I think people get in the habit of putting the religion first over God. But God is the constant. God is omnipotent. God is all seeing, all knowing. I believe that with all of my soul.
Yes.
Because how can you explain the things that we have done as mankind
Yeah.
without an ultimate creator or designer of this universe?
Yeah.
So I believe that, and that's what I submit to. So when I pray to God wholeheartedly. I don't know if God is man or a woman. We get wrapped up as humans. We get wrapped up into trying to put a gender on God. But if God is all seeing, all knowing, God is everything. God is in us.
Yes, absolutely.
God is in this room.
Absolutely.
And when you walk that way, I think you walk lighter. The pressure,
That's so good.
the pressure leaves, because then you realize, like, man, all I got to do is do the right thing. And I promise you, if you're not morally corrupt or morally bankrupt,
Yeah.
and you were raised with some reason of right or wrong, you gonna know right from wrong, and you gonna know, okay, this is wrong and this is right, and you go, and if you want to err on the side of being right, then you walking with God. And it's as simple as that. When we put on all these rituals and we say, oh, we got to go to church on Sunday, we got to go to Bible study on this day, cool, I can pick the Bible up right now and read the Bible and get some jewels out of the Bible
Facts.
and quote it. And have no problem with, and I could do the same thing with the Quran, the Torah, whatever religious text you offer me. But then I got to a point where I was like, well, damn, if I'm on doing the right thing, and God is all seeing, all knowing, then I can get a little bit from everybody. Because it's not bad teaching.
Yeah.
But I believe mankind convolutes the teaching to a point where you got. See, I'm going too far. I was about to talk about the Catholic priests and the churches and the little boys and all that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get away from that, but just right from wrong, a basic concept and an underlying theme in your life, like this is right and this is wrong, and moving that way. And when I fashioned my life that way, like I told you, I walked lighter, I felt lighter, I felt better.
Yeah, free.
Yeah, my spirit felt better because it felt right. Like, I may want to worship God on Friday. Some people, they sin all week, Monday through Saturday. And then Sunday they show up to church and they sanctified. Is it right? Are they hypocrites? I'm going to let them decide that with their God. But I just know that the more good that I do in my life,
Yes.
and the more that I balance my life positively, the more God going to bless me. So that's how I move.
That is so good because, I know people question, so when they say, okay, well, you're praying, they're putting that religion piece up front.
Yeah, who you praying to?
Yeah. So who you praying to, and that has to be a certain way or a certain time or something like that. And I can see where, and I just want to put an emphasis on this because I'm fully aware of it, but I just want to say, it's the freedom of it. It's so liberating to be able to not feel like you have to move in this box, right? Like I have to be just like this because who said
honest?
And it's,
I mean, who's to say if I get out the shower right now and I'm naked and I say, I want to pray to God.
Yeah.
Somebody, a religious teacher might say, you need to go put some clothes on.
Right? God don't want to see you naked, right?
Stop it.
Yeah.
Quit playing with me.
Yeah. That is so good.
But then when you look at the Buddhists, guess what the Buddhists teach, right? I read about the Buddhists too, and I like because it's simple. Like everybody thinks that Buddhism is all these rituals and all these things. They said Buddhism is just being aware. Just be aware. Once you are aware of your life and existence and the things that are going on around you, then you create that oneness and harmony with God. So it's just awareness. That's why they said in Buddhists, they, feel the bugs and the flies and all these things going on around them and hear all these different sounds. Because they've gotten in tune with their environment and the level of consciousness in their life has elevated.
Yeah.
So now we just getting all the way back we bring it all the way back to consciousness.
Yeah.
And what level of consciousness are you operating at?
What level of consciousness are you operating at? You better. Wow. I mean, because it is that simple, right? People do make it harder by having to live by certain means.
Exactly.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. So I'm certain that answered some questions.
I hope it did.
Might be some who don't like it, but it is,
It's the truth.
Yeah.
It's the truth. Like I said, I feel great, and I pray every day. I pray before I go to sleep, and I pray when I wake up because I'm truly happy to
That
see
is
another
so
day.
good. Yes.
Like I'm happy. Like, thank you, God.
Yeah.
Thank you for protecting me from evil and negativity.
Yeah.
And I spend most of my days like that. Like, I don't really have days where I'm engulfed in negativity and evil.
Ooh, that's good.
And I just owe that to my star because I'm blessed. Like, I'm
Yeah.
fortunate
Yeah.
to live my life this way after all of that in the past.
Yeah. So because negativity is just in the universe, is just in the world. When it comes, what's your handle? Because
I try to be positive. It definitely
Okay.
comes.
Yeah.
It comes in my personal life. It comes from all different angles. But you become a product of how you respond to things. So if you're mindful of how you respond to things, then you can kind of like navigate.
Yeah.
And I'm like relearning some things because it's a different environment now. So I'm dealing with a few different things. So I'm having to recalibrate
Ooh, that's good.
my system. And on one end, I feel like I'm getting better. But then on another end, I feel like there's room for improvement. So that's what I'm working on. Like, I've identified some shortcomings and shortfalls in my life with personal things. And I'm saying, you know what? I need to do that better. I need to
that's
improve
good.
that.
Yeah.
I need to stop doing that. I need to listen more to this. So it's practice. Like, it doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah. Now, do you ever find yourself feeling like from the time that you went in to jail, and I know we keep coming back to this, but it's inevitable. Do you feel that you lost any understanding of how the world works in a sense of when you went in and when you came out? Because things are different, right? So you may have had the ability to keep your consciousness aware and all of that. Excuse me, but out in the world, things changed.
It definitely.
From the time that you went in. How did you handle that? What does that look like for you?
I just kept my hand on the pulse. So
You said that.
Yeah,
The news.
one of my favorite things to do, they look at me like I'm crazy. Like, man, why you listen to all that news? Man, because I want to be out there. I don't want to be here with you, fool. So I listen to NPR. I listen to TED Talks. I listen to whatever I can listen to. And I see CNN over here, then I see Fox over there, then I go and tap into the radio station. I listen to Sean Hannity of all people. I listen to Rush Limbaugh. I listen to these people just to see what they talking about.
Yeah. Wow.
Then I
That's
tune in to other radio stations. So I have a little bit of everything from everybody.
Wow.
And I was able to stay in tune that way. Like, I have perspective
Wow.
from all political viewpoints. So I stayed in tune. Like, I listened to all the elections, all the campaigns. I listened to all the market reviews. I listened to Market Watch. Right? I paid attention to the price of gold and other commodities. I paid attention to oil. Right? I paid attention to everything. Who had an embargo? Who had tariffs? All the things that make the world go round. That's what I paid attention to. When USA Today came in there, I read it. When People magazines came in there, I read it. When Time came in there, I read it. If there was something else I wanted to read, I read it. And that's how I maintain my closeness with reality. And people didn't understand that because when I got this, like, I never left. If anything, I came back new and improved. And they like, damn, like,
You probably know a little more than some
you,
of them
yeah,
do,
you're a little
right?
bit sharper than me. And I'm in my mind, I'm just like, you know what? This is preparation. Like, man, I'm not gonna sit on my brain.
Yeah.
So then I got to a point. Okay, what else can I do? Okay, so I started studying Spanish.
Okay. So you speak.
Estoy aprendiendo. Cada día más. I am learning
Oh, okay.
each day more.
Okay.
But
Oh, that's good.
yeah.
You taught yourself?
No, actually, it was later I taught myself because I got a Merriam-Webster's 3-in-1 complete learning Spanish book.
Okay.
But the first lessons I took was in a Spanish. They had adult continuing education courses.
Okay.
So I didn't really. I wasn't in prison because I lacked like scholastic knowledge or education. I didn't have those deficiencies growing up. They told me I was a brilliant child. I was just a troublemaker.
Yeah.
So I didn't have those problems. So I didn't really identify too many because they stopped offering college and federal prison. They stopped offering Pell Grants. They stopped providing that educational tool for us.
Okay.
But what they did provide was ACE classes, which are adult continuing education courses.
Okay.
And out of everything that they offered, the only thing that I wanted to learn was Spanish. So I took Spanish. I learned it when I was in North Carolina in Raleigh-Durham. From that community college, a Venezuelan teacher came through and he taught us. And I started learning there, and then I just picked it up and ran with it from there. And I just kind of just stayed on it, periodically throughout my later years. And then, like, when I got to about 6 months, I was reading Spanish every day at count time.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So you're pretty fluent?
Poquito. Poquito.
I do know. I know a little bit. I can't say it back. I ain't even gonna try. Two of my grandbabies their mother is Hispanic.
Wow.
And so I always be trying to,
Speak with them.
Yeah. But I learned some. I ain't even gonna be embarrassed about it. I learned some of him like Dora the Explorer. I don't know if you know that. It's a little cartoon and
the
shit.
Backpack or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
See, so you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't always get it right, but that's one thing that I've always kind of and I did it like in high school, and I don't know what happened, why I got out of it, because I took it the whole time.
Yeah.
And then just like with anything, if you don't use it, you could lose it.
You could lose it.
So I couldn't have a conversation, but I imagine it's probably just like riding a bike, right? You can pick it back up, or
yeah, you can definitely pick it back up, because the thing about Spanish, they have what you call cognates. They have cognates and true cognates. So some of the words that you see in Spanish, they mirror the English version. So you kind of like, you can conjugate and that's another thing, you really have to learn how to conjugate the verbs. But you can really like start to identify a pattern in the Spanish language.
Okay.
Number one, but number two, you have to distinguish the pronunciation of the vowels. So in English, it's A, E, I, O, U. In Spanish, it's A, E, O, U. So when you hear Spanish people pronounce certain things, they pronounce it funny, but it's because they're pronouncing their vowels different than how we pronounce our vowels in English. So once you really get that, that's the main thing, is get the vowels down. Be able to transition between the vowels. Then once you transition in between the vowels, then the next thing to do is learn the verbs, because the verbs are the action words. And that's really how we navigate languages. We always doing something. So navigate the verbs, learn how to. So when you say hablar, right, that's to speak, which is Hablar. So to conjugate that verb, you have to cut off the AR, right? And then when you say hablo, is I am speaking. Hablan, they are speaking. You see what I'm saying? So once you start conjugating the verb, hablamos, we are speaking. So once you learn that stem is always going to be the same, and you just conjugate the verbs depending on if it's an AR, ER, or IR verb, then it becomes easy. Comer, comida, comiendo.
So tell me that you went in the inside job having an interview with Nate.
Okay. Let me see. Let me put it together right quick. You say you want me to say I'm on the inside job
podcast, chilling with Nate or something,
Okay, so I would say estoy, which is I am, en, el, inside. You just stuck me right there because outside is afuera. Damn, what is inside? That's a good question.
Okay.
So you got me right there.
I got you.
Stuck me right there. Now if you would have said outside, I would have said afuera.
Yeah.
Right. So you definitely, damn, what is inside? Because
that's how you'll be able to tell me when you come back. That's some homework.
That's a homework assignment.
I want to hear that. I want to hear that in Spanish and
yeah.
Yeah, I think
that's how we're going to start out the next episode on
facts.
The Inside Job.
Yes.
Because you got me right there. Damn, that's crazy. What is the opposite of afuera? It might come to me by the end of the interview, and if it does, I'm gonna just blurt it out. You're going to be like, where'd that come from?
Right, because I'm not going to know what it is. So even if you said it, I mean, but that's amazing. That's
Thank you.
amazing. We know a lot more about Fresh. Any other languages? Or is it?
Besides, my father's native tongue, which is Yoruba, but I think I speak more Spanish than I do Yoruba.
Oh
But
wow, really?
Yoruba is I want to say is one of the biggest languages, if not the biggest language in Nigeria, because a lot of African nations were either colonized by Europeans,
Right.
French, or Arab people. So I would say Arabic is probably one of the leading languages in Africa. But outside of that, I would believe Yoruba is because Lagos, Nigeria is such a big place. It's the most populous nation in Africa. So, if I'm not mistaken, that language is
Okay.
the largest language spoken on that
But does your
continent.
dad talk to you in that language?
Yeah,
or?
he does.
Oh, okay.
He does. He'll send me a text message right now. He'll be speaking Yoruba, and I'll be like, okay, I know what that means. I know
Yeah.
what that means. I'll be like, Dad, what you mean right there?
Yeah.
Because he didn't teach me. He taught me English. I think but when my dad came to America, he was ready to come to. He was tired of being home. And when he came to America, he just wanted to be in America. So when he raised me, he didn't teach me Yoruba like he taught my sister. Now my sister, she can speak Yoruba fluently. Plus she stayed out there for a couple years.
Okay.
I only visited.
Yeah.
So she has that up on me that she's
Okay.
able to speak. So when she speaks to my dad, they can speak in Yoruba
Yeah.
back and forth, and I'll be like, oh yeah, all right.
Get this, because
yeah,
do
yeah.
they know Spanish?
No, my sister knows a little bit of Spanish. My
Yeah.
dad don't know no Spanish. So.
Yeah. See, so you got one up on them too. They be like,
Yeah.
what are you saying, son?
Until they ask me how to say inside, and I'll be like,
Yeah.
I'll be like, see, I gotta go back to my dictionary for that.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I think that's wow. Well then, so as you know, our time is coming up or is up.
Okay.
So I would love to definitely have you back. I still feel like there's a lot more.
Oh yeah, we
that-
just peeling back the surface. A little
Yes, so much more to know about Fresh, and
Yes.
I mean, I'm just so excited to hear more and
There's
more and
definitely
more.
more for me to give.
Yeah, good. Anything you want to leave listeners as we close out today?
This is what I'll leave the listeners. And this is kind of like off the beaten path, but I'll just say this. Don't look at working out as a chore. Look at working out as a lifestyle decision. Do it because you love it and because it's going to make you a better you. And when you look at working out from that perspective, you won't dread working out ever again in your life. That's what I have.
Pin that. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.
Thank you.